Who was Solomon? Discover the true story of King Solomon in the Bible. Welcome to the Inspiring Illustrations channel. Today, we will dive into the story of a king who became synonymous with wisdom, wealth, and power, Solomon. His life fascinates us, intrigues us, and brings us face to face with the complexities of the human heart, its desires, its weaknesses, and the search for true wisdom, which is often confused with ambition and power. But behind a man of such high stature, chosen to reign over all God's people, we find a being who faced the same temptations as us. He was seduced by ambition and the pleasures of the flesh, and, in the end, learned the hard way that true wisdom resides solely in God. In this video, you will learn the true story about Solomon. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, take this opportunity to do so now. Don't forget to activate all notifications and leave your like. Let's start the video. Solomon is regarded as one of the most influential monarchs in history, famed for his vast wealth and success. His legacy surpasses his biblical heritage and wisdom, particularly highlighted by his establishment of Jerusalem's first temple. Despite his belated mention in the Bible during King David's final days, Solomon's impact is substantial, with over 300 references in the Old Testament and at least a dozen in the New Testament. His presence extends into non-biblical literature and Jewish folklore, where he is often linked to mystical and secretive powers, including the alleged command over demons. The tales involving King Solomon and the summoning of supernatural beings are not part of traditional sacred writings, but arise from alternative sources and Jewish esoteric traditions. Notably, the Ars Goetia, the first section of the esoteric book, the Lesser Key of Solomon, recounts that the king summoned and confined 72 spiritual entities within a bronze vessel, sealed with mystical symbols, in pursuit of wisdom and power. These accounts belong to the realm of myth and legend, diverging from the recognized canonical texts. There is no specific passage in the canonical scriptures detailing Solomon's summoning demonic beings. Such stories are found in esoteric writings and occult literature, which expand Solomon's portrayal beyond the wise monarch and temple builder depicted in the Bible. The name Solomon has Hebrew origins and is derived from the word shalomo, meaning peaceful, or one who is at peace. In biblical tradition, Solomon was one of Israel's most renowned kings, notable for his wisdom and for building the temple in Jerusalem. The meaning of the name is associated with peace, reflecting the peaceful and prosperous nature of his reign. Moreover, Solomon is remembered as a wise and just ruler who elevated Israel to the height of its power. Solomon, the third son of King David, born of his union with Bathsheba, is described in 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 25. God loved Solomon and instructed the prophet Nathan to call him Jedediah, meaning the beloved of the Lord. He represented the divine promise of a glorious kingdom made to his father David. The Lord will make you a house, as recorded in 1 Chronicles chapter 22. Thus, God ensured a lasting kingdom for David, with Solomon as his successor. Solomon's story, like that of many leaders who followed, begins with a battle for power. While still alive, David, weakened by age and wars, saw his son Adonijah, driven by ambition, attempt to usurp the throne. The biblical text recounts that Adonijah tries to become king after the death of Absalom. Adonijah, the eldest surviving son of David with his wife Haggith, became prominent. Adonijah, a very handsome man, had never been disciplined by his father David and had a strong desire to be king. He gathered chariots, horses, and 50 attendants to follow him everywhere. Adonijah sought the support of Joab, son of Zeruiah, and Abiathar, the priest, who agreed to support him. However, Zadok, the priest, Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, Nathan, the prophet, Shimei, Ray, and David's personal guards did not support Adonijah. One day, Adonijah sacrificed sheep, bulls, and fattened calves at the stone of Zoheleth, near the spring of En-Rogel. He invited all his brothers, the king's sons, and all the royal officials of Judah. However, he did not invite his half-brother Solomon, Nathan, the prophet, Benaiah, or David's personal guards. As described in 1 Kings, chapter 1, verses 5 to 10. King David, faithful to his promise to Bathsheba, intervened on behalf of Solomon. He ordered that Solomon be anointed king, putting an end to Adonijah's conspiracy and ensuring that the royal lineage was maintained. 1 Kings, chapter 1, verses 32 to 40. Solomon was quite young when he assumed the kingdom and, faced with the enormity of the task awaiting him, understood the need for wisdom to govern justly and effectively. He sought God in Gibeon, offering sacrifices and pleading for a wise heart to discern right from wrong. God, impressed with Solomon's request, granted him a wise and discerning heart and blessed him with riches and glory. Solomon stood out as a great example of wisdom, attracting wise men and kings from distant lands in search of his counsel, which spread throughout the land. The first book of Kings, chapter 4, verses 29 to 34, describes how God blessed Solomon with wisdom and understanding so extraordinary they were incalculable. He surpassed in wisdom any other sage of the East or Egypt. Solomon was wiser than any other man, surpassing even Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman, Calcol, and Darda, the sons of Mahal. His reputation as a wise man extended to all the surrounding nations. He left a legacy of 3,000 proverbs and over 1,000 songs. Solomon also discoursed on nature, from the majestic cedars of Lebanon to the small hyssop that grows on the walls. He spoke about wildlife, including land animals, birds, reptiles, and fish. His wisdom was so renowned that kings from all parts of the world sent emissaries just to hear his counsel and teachings. Solomon's reign, propelled by the wisdom he received from God, became a golden age for Israel. The borders were strengthened, justice reigned, and commerce flourished, making Israel a power in the region. 1 Kings, chapter 4, verses 20 to 25. But Solomon, in addition to seeking the good of his people, dedicated his heart to an even greater purpose: building the temple in Jerusalem, a grand monument for the worship of God. He gathered the finest craftsmen, hired workers from other nations, and used the most precious resources to erect this monument that would serve as a center of faith and culture for the people of Israel. The temple, built with majestic beauty and grandeur, was an expression of God's glory and a historical landmark for the people of Israel. It became a place of meeting with God, offering sacrifices, and recognizing dependence on the Lord. However, as time passed, Solomon, who was once a humble king, began to lose his passion and devotion to the Lord. Unfortunately, his story was negatively marked. Pride and vanity began to take over his heart. The man who had conquered God's wisdom made a mistake that led to his downfall. He married numerous women from other nations. His love for these women blinded him to the love and obedience to the one God, the God who had blessed him and elevated him to the throne. The influence of these foreign wives led him to practice idolatry, to worship other gods, which deeply displeased God. The tolerance for idolatry, the fruit of his blind love for his wives, opened the doors to paganism and the estrangement of the people of Israel from the true God. As described in 1 Kings, chapter 11. Solomon's disobedience had devastating consequences. God, in his justice and love, promised to divide Solomon's kingdom. After his death, his son Rehoboam, without his father's wisdom, faced a revolt that resulted in the division of the kingdom into two: Israel to the north and Judah to the south. Solomon's story shows us that even those who achieve great success can lose themselves in the pursuit of pleasures and power. True wisdom, the wisdom that comes from God, guides us to a life of obedience, love, and fidelity. Solomon's wisdom was a gift from God. But what made it different from human wisdom was his pursuit of the knowledge of God and his obedience to his word. True wisdom is not found in knowledge, riches, or power, but in a heart turned toward God. Solomon's disobedience to God had devastating consequences, not just for him but also for the future of Israel. The division of the kingdom is a testament to the fact that obedience to God is fundamental to individual prosperity and the common good. Solomon's decisions had a profound impact on his reign and the future of Israel. His mistakes show us that our choices, even the smallest ones, can have long-term consequences. Despite Solomon's mistakes, his legacy remains alive. His wisdom continues to inspire people across all ages, and his writings, such as Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs, convey valuable lessons on wisdom, justice, and love. Solomon's story is a complex one, rich with lessons. It shows us that true wisdom is not just about intelligence, but in the pursuit of the knowledge of God and obedience to His word. Riches, power, and glory are fleeting, but the wisdom of God is eternal. What have you learned from the story of Solomon? How can we seek true wisdom in our lives, in a world that offers us so many options and paths? Leave your message in the comments. We really want to know your opinion. God bless, and see you in the next video.